Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer and I live in Wyoming. I have been following the Walkaway movement now for about 7 to 8 months, and initially I just kind of put a picture and a little bit of myself when I first came on the site, and I was amazed at how the support system was just incredible, and how I was learning these amazing stories and these amazing histories and backgrounds from people from all walks of life, all ethnicities, all backgrounds, and I just absolutely loved that. And I am probably what you would consider a walk with. I definitely have been conservative my whole life. I live in Wyoming. I'm a Christian. We raise our children with Christian values. But beyond that, one of the things that I loved the most about first finding this site and getting the support is how many people were in even my shoes, where all of a sudden friends that you had had for a lifetime, 10, 20, 30 years, were turning on me, and we were no longer friends. They were disappearing on Facebook, simply because of my belief systems and because I would not just kowtow and bend to their will, which it was the weirdest thing ever. It's not like we can have conversations anymore. It's like we need to have this conversation and you have to turn into a liberal in order for us to have this conversation any further. And if not, then you're a bigot or a homophobe or racist. And that is so beyond ridiculous. And so I guess where I'm going with that is I felt like this has been just an amazing support system for anybody that has felt that feeling of just like you've almost been stripped of your humanity, and just your ability to care for other people and see people as a human being with feelings and a personality and opinions and freedom of thought and speech. And I think the reason I feel led to post a video now is because of all of the things that we are seeing with YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, and just the censorship of the conservative voices. And one of the things that I have learned the most from watching a lot of your videos is how important it is now more than ever not to stay silent. I think for a long time the liberals were very good about keeping us quiet because we did want to be humane. We did want to talk to people rationally and logically, and because we did not want to be evil back, we did not want to be violent, we just stayed quiet, and they got used to that. And so I think as we start to see our voices being heard more and more, that censorship is going to happen more and more. And so the only way to combat that is for more of us to be out there being vocal and saying what needs to be said, because there's people that are still on the fence. There's people that are starting to wake up, but they're scared and they don't want to move. And maybe it's a video that I make or that you make or something that you post or say, or a comment like what happened with Brandon makes every difference in the world for that one person to be given their thoughts back, to be able to think again for themselves and feel that sense of peace that in yourself, that you can be who you are, who you have been all along. And so I'm learning that arguing does not help. However, there are places that I think that there's common ground on, and if we can find those places, whatever those might be, to build on, that might be a platform in which to have an actual decent human conversation, logical, realistic conversation, free of emotion and vitriol and victimhood of the people that we are trying to love on. Honestly, we're trying to love on them because we want them to think. We want them to go and educate themselves. We're not telling them what to think. We don't want them to think what we think. We want them to think for themselves, and we want to help them hopefully get there. And so I've started being more bold, posting things that maybe I wouldn't have posted before because they might be a tiny bit controversial, but maybe not like horribly controversial, or maybe they're from a site or a resource that's not 100% conservative commentator or Fox or something like that. It's more of like middle of the road, where some of those liberals will like instantly look at those posts and be like, of course Fox says that, of course Ben Shapiro says that, or whatever. And I'm learning that, you know, when we can find those middle of the road commentators, I think it helps a little bit, especially when you have voices that were liberals before and they have come to a place where they can think again for themselves, and whatever that may be. Maybe it's not Republican, that's totally fine. Just that they're thinking again for themselves, and they're actually educating themselves, and they're researching, and they're not just taking that pill of the mainstream media news. And so I thought I would share that's been really helpful to make me more bold, is listening to your stories and coming up with those great ideas that all of you have done, where you're trying to find some of those places of common ground, where instead of just being hit with a wall of hate, you have someone saying, hey, that's actually kind of a decent point. We can agree on that. Like, I'm pretty sure most everybody can agree that the First Lady of the United States is the attack that happens to her on a daily basis is ridiculous, and it would have never happened if it was Michelle Obama. And I'm done. I'm sick of it. I just think it's ridiculous. And the things she's doing for kids, I'm an educator, and so the programs she has for children is amazing. Her passion is amazing. And so that's one area where I've actually found that regardless of what side of the aisle, there's a lot of people that actually agree with that. That she's under attack for really no reason other than being married to Trump. But when you can find those areas, I think it's a place to start. It doesn't mean that you have to give up what your thought process is. It doesn't mean that you have to bend on what you believe, but it is a place to start. So anyways, I have to get to a soccer game. I'm a soccer mom, apparently. And I just want to thank you all for listening to me and just being a support system. I love watching your videos. Whenever I'm feeling really discouraged, the first thing I do is go watch Walkaway videos, and it's been an important step in my journey. So thanks to everybody, and God bless.